Lucas County officials are warning locals of the latest phone scam that's convincing people if they don't pay up for outstanding warrants, they'll be locked up for a long time. Being from sunny Southern California, I have never driven in snow before, and yesterday was my first time, and all I had was this tiny ice scraper. For the past 4 Veterans Days, Dr. Stefano has offered free dental services for veterans, and for some, it's their only chance at an affordable checkup. Genius Garage has some pretty big and exciting things coming up. To stay in the loop or to get involved, head to NBC24.com. Kaylee, from the outside, this looks like a pretty normal Christmas kiosk, but just a few hours ago, nearly a dozen families were waiting to actually get inside here. Ryan, for the most part, people in North Toledo want to see this old dredge site off of North Summit Street cleaned and cleared up. Last year, nearly 300 people helped raise over $8,000. This year, they were hoping to top that. Jamie Tenise Temple was only 13 years old when her pastor, Anthony Haynes, began to sexually abuse her and force her to have sex with anyone he chose. But now she's sharing her story not only to help other women survive, but to thrive.
A local philanthropist is gaining attention after he listed a turbine engine powered Batmobile on eBay.
And this is not cheap. It looks cool. Right now it is up for bid at more than $500,000. NBC 24's Sophia Perricone talked with the designer of this car and how its sale will help kickstart students' careers.
Genius Garage in Bowling Green is giving students such a one-of-a-kind experience that there's a wait list of young adults from around the world. This Batmobile, listed on eBay, could be yours for the price of $680,000.
Well, what car guy doesn't dream once in a while about having and driving a Batmobile?
It took Casey Putsch 5.5 months to build this totally street-legal Batmobile. The man who bought it from him decided to give it back.
So he just basically called me up and sent it back and said, you know, sell it, and maybe that some of the proceeds from that in the future could go towards Genius Garage.
Casey started Genius Garage in 2014 to give students the chance to have something that he didn't.
I realized that for young engineers and designers in the college environment, there's so few opportunities for them to apply what they're learning and to get mentored from, you know, lifetime professionals. And because of that, there's a catch-22 that exists after education. How do I get experience to get a job if I can't get a job to get experience?
It's a 501c3 public educational charity.
I legitimately have a waiting list of students from other continents, all over the United States. Even Stanford and Harvard students want to come here to the Cornfield, Ohio to do Genius Garage. So it's been a great response.
That lets students get a hands-on experience in what it takes to build a professional race car.
And it requires the team coming together, of course, all the logistics and engineering and building and preparation of the car.
Casey even teaches them the business side of the industry before letting the team take the cars out for a spin. All of this to prepare young adults for their future.
I wanted to give young people the shot I never had. I didn't want them to struggle and have to find their way when there could be some place or somebody out there to help them get along.
Genius Garage has some pretty big and exciting things coming up. To stay in the loop or to get involved, head to NBC24.com. Reporting in Bowling Green, Sophia Perricone, NBC 24 News. Yeah, Jamie, last week started with a fatal stabbing and wrapped up with yesterday's deadly shooting on Mulberry Street. Those neighbors are now saying it's time for change.
Upon arrival, they found one victim lying in the street. They quickly searched the area and found an additional victim lying on a porch.
Stephen Turner and Jerry McGee are dead after being shot on Mulberry Street in North Toledo Sunday night.
Last night at about 8:30, crews responded to shot spotter alerts, which indicates gunfire in a specific area.
Last week, the U.S. Marshals Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force announced they were looking for Turner in Toledo for aggravated robbery and burglary and grand theft of a motor vehicle.
There's a lot of aspects to this case, especially with 2 victims, and detectives are following up on leads and working this case really hard.
Neighbors on Mulberry Street were shocked to hear the gunfire.
Well, I heard a lot of bang, bang. I didn't know, the gun and what kind of gun he had, but I know it was very loud.
Saying the neighborhood has been getting better over the years.
I think it's tragic that there was 2 lives taken. And, you know, the neighborhood is, well, this street's quite quiet. The neighborhood's been improving the last 10 years.
Roddy and another resident who didn't want to go on camera for her safety want to see more change in the community.
More lighting can be added in some of these areas, but mostly I think people in this neighborhood need to work with the police to, eliminate crime to an extent.
The fatal shooting comes just one night after a 16-year-old was shot at a house party in East Toledo, days after a woman was mysteriously dropped off and pronounced dead at St. V's, and a week after a fatal stabbing in South Toledo.
Homicides are still down from this time last year. This has just been a heartbreaking and unfortunate, doesn't even cut it, a heartbreaking month in the city of Toledo.
So far, there have been 31 homicides this year. At this time last year, there were 38. But police say you should still be alert at all times.
If you see something, say something. Please call the police if you feel anything is not normal in your neighborhood, or if you see somebody or a vehicle or something that you think is not right.
If you know anything about either of the shootings that happened over this past weekend, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111. You can remain anonymous. Reporting live in Toledo, Sophia Perricone, NBC 24 News.